Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. 400 jobs will be provided for Omanis in the Muwasalat company as National Ferries Company plans to buy new touristic ships with international standards. Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises Development, RIADA, stresses on its support for entrepreneurs and challenges facing them. And the Sultanate's total crude oil and condensate production during May 2017 exceeds 30 million barrels. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. During a forum organized in Muscat by the Ministry of Transport and Communications, it was announced that there are around 400 jobs for Omanis in the Muwasalat company this year, and the National Ferries Company is planning to buy new touristic ships with global standards. The company has also a vision through which it aims to serve the touristic sector in the Sultanate. The forum revealed that the percentage of usage of Muwasalat buses by Omanis increased by 40% as the company is adopting the Omani youth ideas to design bus stops that work with solar energy. It was also revealed during the forum that new services will be provided by the company organizing the work of taxis in the upcoming period. Within the aim to continue supporting entrepreneurs and identifying challenges facing them, the Board of Directors of the Public Authority for SMEs Development, RIADA, held its second meeting for 2017 under the chair of His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masood Al Sunaidi, Minister of Commerce and Industry, Chairperson of the RIADA Board. During the meeting, they also discussed utilizing all services provided by RIADA to entrepreneurs through launching the video call service in collaboration with the Omantel Entrepreneurs Club and Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry. It also focused on activating the role of the authority in all governorates. The RIADA board reviewed the executive programs for the strategic document, which included the growth stages for establishment, which was linked to the relevant stakeholders that support entrepreneurs. Shura Council approved the agreement draft between the Sultanate and the Republic of Lithuania in the field of economic cooperation. It also approved a study on educating and qualifying the disabled in the Sultanate. The session also tackled the proposal of draft law by amending some provisions of tender laws. It also discussed a number of topics forwarded by the Council of Ministers, among which the clarifying memorandum of the government reply for notices of the Council of Oman on State's General Budget draft of the current year. It also reviewed two unified agreement drafts of the in-country value tax and the selective tax of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries, as well as the government reply on the clear desire to legalize exporting green fodder beyond the Oman borders. It was presided over by His Excellency Khalid bin Khilal Al Ma'wali, Chairperson of the Shura Council. The Sultan's total crude oil and condensates production during May 2017 stood at more than 30 million barrels, a daily average by 967,800 barrels. The total quantities of crude oil exported abroad during May 2017 stood at around 25 million barrels, a daily average of 800,450 barrels, comprising a rise by 5.58% compared to April 2017 when calculating the daily average. The report pointed out that the price of crude oil for the reference oil around the world witnessed a remarkable decline during May 2017 compared to the previous months. The Sultan's crude oil and condensates production in May 2017 exceeds 30 million barrels. Still to come in our news bulletin. New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art focuses on Islamic art, presenting artistic and scientific accomplishments from the Middle East. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. A joint technical committee concerned with urban planning reviewed 71 topics related to investment, economic and planning projects. It also discussed during its 9th meeting of the year a number of other topics related to planning process in the governorates of Muscat, South Batna, North and South Sharqiya. The meeting was presided over by His Excellency Engineer Saif bin Amr Al-Shaksi, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Housing, Chairperson of the committee. The Ministry of Manpower won the World Summit Award for the category of electric employment for the year 2017 in Geneva. This winning came to stress the role of the ministry to develop its electronic services as well as to keep up with the projects of e-government. The organization of this award came by the International Telecommunication Union in cooperation with the United Nations Conference for Education and Culture and UN Development Program. It is worth mentioning that the best applications and achievements in the field of telecommunications and information technology are chosen during the World Summit. Oman Food Investment Holding Company signed a consultative agreement to prepare a visibility study of the project of sardine and seafood production and packing. The project is within the initiatives approved by National Economic Diversification Program Tanfith. It aims to establishing a factory for production and packing of sardine and tuna fish, which was the Sultanate enjoy the production average rate of almost 1 million sardine cans daily as a first phase, in addition to fish oil and fodder extracted from fish. The project, due to be implemented in 13 weeks, will contribute in upgrading the in-country value sardines and other sea products which are being sold in market in its raw forms without any additional value. The Sultanate's year-on-year consumer inflation for May 2017 touched 1.9%, driven by a rise of 7.4% in the transport sector, 1.57% in housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuels set at 23.9% in tobacco sets. Prices of food and non-alcoholic beverages went down to 0.03% in May this year compared with the prices during the same period in 2016. The clothing and footwear set also fell from 0.06% in May 2017 compared to the same time last month in the same year. The furnishing, household equipment and routine household maintenance rose 2.46% compared to last year. A mass food poisoning at a camp for displaced people near the northern Iraqi city of Mosul has killed at least 2 and sickened hundreds. Idila Hamoud, health minister, said today that 752 people took ill after a meal that the previous evening at the Hassan Sham U2 camp, located about 20 kilometers east of Mosul. Idila said a woman and a girl died, while at least 300 people remain in critical condition. Lawmaker Ra'ad al-Dalki, who chaired the Parliament's Immigration and Displacement Committee, said that a formal investigation was launched into the incident by authorities. Al-Dalaki, who visited the camp overnight, said the meal contained rice, a bean sauce, meat, yogurt and water. The camp houses thousands who are fled from their homes around Mosul after a U.S.-backed Iraqi offensive was launched to dislodge Daesh groups from the city last October. A police officer was shot in the head after a man grabbed her service pistol and opened fire, also injuring 2 bystanders in an incident at a Munich subway station this morning. Munich police said that the officer's injuries were considered life-threatening, while those of the 2 bystanders shot are overhearing station with the serious, adding that the suspect was seriously injured by gunfire. They highlighted that authorities do not believe the incident had to do with extremism and that the suspect appeared to have acted out of personal reasons and not with political or religious motivations. At a New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art's sanctuaries, old pieces of art from the Middle East are taking on new relevance. Every Friday, the museum hosts a 10-minute gallery talks focusing on Islamic art, presenting artistic and scientific accomplishments from the Middle East for hundreds of years. The tour of the museum features art and antiquities from the countries of such as Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria and Yemen. Here are the Ramadan times for tomorrow. Fajr prayers at 3:52 a.m. and Maghrib prayers at 6:59 p.m. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of Dhofar. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies. Winds will be westerly to northwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. 400 jobs will be provided for Omanis in the Muwasalat company as the National Ferries Company plans to buy new touristic ships with international standards. Public Authority for SMEs Development, Riyadh, stresses on its support for entrepreneurs and challenges facing them. And the Sultanate's total crude oil and condensate production during May 2017 exceeds 30 million barrels. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the studios and the newsroom, it's good night.